I have got a serious case of the Mondays.
Y'all ready for the big show?
I hate Mondays.
I don't work Mondays.
Say what?
Talk about a case of the Mondays.
Listen, I say we don't air this show.
What are you talking about?
As they say in Hollywood, the show must go on.
It's Monday Madness.
This is the show for you.
Let's go.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to NSS. This is the Reynolds Report. Donald Trump's Miss USA Pageant won't air again on Univision. The Mexican network says it's dumping the Trump-owned pageant due to the insulting remarks the presidential candidate made about Mexicans in his kickoff speech. He said last week, when Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're sending people who have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with them. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists. As an afterthought, he mentioned, and some, I assume, are good people. Michael Jackson died 6 years ago this month and has continued to generate an almost unimaginable amount of money. Sources claim that Jackson's estate has grossed $2 billion since his death, thanks to the film This Is It, the Cirque du Soleil show Michael Jackson, The Immortal World, and things like album sales and merchandise and all that other stuff. After expenses, that $2 billion gets whittled down to around $800 million. As for Michael's kids, there's a trust where millions gets distributed as they get older. The guy who played Cooter on the Dukes of Hazzard recently said the Confederate flag stands for family. Well, I'm sorry, but when it comes to examining the lasting impact of Civil War symbols on the psyche of modern America, I never weigh into that discussion until I've heard from Boss Hogg. Congratulations to ABC News and its reporters who won the Edward R. Murrow Award for TV journalism. NBC News and Brian Williams took home the Pulitzer Prize for fiction. Authorities in Mexico found tigers, baboons, and camels that had been abandoned by a circus. They were left in the wild to just fend for themselves, kinda like former Kardashian husbands. According to a new employment study, daughters become more successful if their mothers have jobs, which I guess is bad news for Northwest. Microsoft's new Windows 10 desktop wallpaper was created using lasers, smoke machines, colored filters, and falling crystal dust. Apparently, it was designed by the creative team behind Blue Oyster Cult's 1979 World Tour. Dustin Diamond, who played Screech on Saved by the Bell, was sentenced to 4 months in prison for stabbing a guy in a bar. Stabbed by Screech. Isn't that kind of like getting punched out by Urkel? A new medical survey reveals that an amazing 43% of doctors play games on their phones at work. How do you trust a doctor to be gentle with the colonoscopy right after he's played Call of Duty? Actor Shia LaBeouf was injured on a movie set late last week and required 13 stitches to his head. Wait a second. You mean to tell me Shia LaBeouf has been saying and doing stupid things all these years without a head injury? Beginning next year in Japan, it will finally be legal to dance after midnight. Way to go, Kevin Bacon. And Kourtney Kardashian's boyfriend, Scott Disick, was caught trying to hook up with a woman on Tinder. And boy, was his face red when he discovered that the woman was actually Caitlyn Jenner. Thanks, everybody. We have a new episode of the Reynolds Report for you every weekday. Be sure to check out The Being Frank Show starring Frank D'Angelo. Live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on NSS.